TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and I want to let you know that the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Over 2 million men worldwide have joined the movement for all their below-the-waist needs. Engineers for the last 18 months have perfected the greatest hair trimmer ever created, the Lawnmower 3.0. The third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. You can choose the Lawnmower 3.0 as well as other items by going to manscaped.com, and you can also save 20% by using the promo code StateOfSaints. That's manscaped.com. Use the promo code StateOfSaints and save 20% on the Lawnmower 3.0 as well as other Manscaped items. That's manscaped.com.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. If you can hear me, clap 4 times. Hey, man, what's going on, man? Hey, once again, let me run it back then. Let me go ahead and run it back. Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And I want to say to everybody, happy Monday once again. Okay, happy Monday once again. I apologize for you not being able to hear me when I first came on the air, but I want to say thank you all for spending your Monday with me. And I said earlier, I hope everybody didn't spend their stimulus check all in one place. But look, man, we got to talk about New Orleans Saints, man. I took a few days off, man. I just took a few days off. I said last week that, I was dealing with a death in my family that kind of got me down. And also Paxton, he was kind of sick. But, as the weekend got closer, he started to feel a lot better. And and now you can see he's out here dancing. That's right. Come on. So as y'all can see, the Pac-Man is doing just fine, man. We took him to a kids fest over the weekend, and he really was enjoying himself, man, out there getting his groove on. But let's go ahead and talk about the New Orleans Saints, man. Let's talk about some of these topics that need to be discussed. Let's go ahead and talk about the obvious topic of the show. The Saints were fined by the National Football League. He was fined. They were fined $700,000, and they also have to relinquish a 6th-round draft pick in 2022. And look, this was the best case scenario. This was the best case scenario for the New Orleans Saints, for them to be able to move on. Now, $700,000 is nothing to sneeze at, but when you're when you're a multi-billion-dollar organization, I mean, that's just a drop in the bucket. And as far as the 6th-round pick, I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt the Saints even more. I just look. I'm about to go ahead and state the obvious, man. It feels like the NFL has this personal vendetta against the New Orleans Saints. It seems to me that they have an issue with the Saints, and it seems like anytime they want to try to make an example, they always got to pick the Saints. The New Orleans Saints weren't the only team that violated COVID-19 protocol. First off, it was them getting fined because they was dancing in the locker room and they're saying the guys didn't have a mask on. Then you look at other teams like the Lions, and you look at other teams, like the Broncos, and all these other teams were, showing their locker room celebrations, and nothing happened. And, I think it had a lot to do with the fact that, why the Saints penalty ended up being this way, because I'm pretty sure that the New Orleans Saints probably presented that information to the NFL. But, of course, the NFL, they're the no-fun league. They're called the NFL for a reason. It's not just for National Football League. They had to make an example somehow. So the reason why I just feel like they just picked on the Saints, one, because they're low-hanging fruit. And number two, they just felt like they had to make an example so no team can try to go out here and try to replicate or duplicate what the Saints have done once again. But, the Saints did kind of shoot themselves in the foot. I'm not going to lie about that. When they got footage going around, Alvin Kamara bringing people into the organization that don't work with the organization, him not wearing his tracking device. And, you also have like other players that weren't doing, certain things, doing Instagram posts and all that kind of stuff inside of the locker room. I mean, it didn't help their case, but I still feel like, if you're going to do something to one, you got to do it for everybody. Okay, that's the way I feel about it. But, the Saints, they have a plethora of draft picks. It's probably more draft picks the Saints have had in a while, especially when it comes to the 3rd round. So the Saints can definitely do some damage in the draft and get their team back. The Saints have lost a lot of players. We heard over the weekend that Sheldon Rankin signed a 2-year deal with the New York Jets. So you have a lot of Saints fans bummed out about that. I mean, also, you have players like Janoris Jenkins signing with the Titans. Justin Hardy also went to the Jets. So you have guys that were like core players, guys that were like, really beneficial to the team. They're going to other places, but that's just the role of it, man. That's just the breaks. I was talking to my big brother EJ. Shouts out to him. But I was talking to him over the weekend, and I said to him, I said, the New Orleans Saints are, what's happening to the Saints right now is what happens to teams that win the Super Bowl. The only difference is the Saints didn't win the Super Bowl. Like when you win all these games over the last 4 years, and, there's a reason why the New Orleans Saints hold a record for most wins in the last 4 years. But they also are the only team in NFL history to win these many games and not reach the Super Bowl once. And usually when teams are winning this much, they're going to the Super Bowl and their team gets dismantled, and, the players go off to other places to get better paydays. The only difference is the Saints didn't go to the Super Bowl. So we are being recipients of what happens when your team is successful. You have other organizations are looking on your team and they're trying to figure out how can they make their team better. And, that's just the way that it goes. But it's up to the coaching staff in order to make this team a formidable team to go out there and perform week in and week out. And look, I don't think the Saints are going to fall off the cliff. I'm not buying into that. I know some Saints fans feel that way. You got media people that feel that way. I don't. I don't feel that way. I feel like the Saints can still be a good football team. I still think that they got their core players. And I think if they have a solid draft, I think that they can re-up, okay? I think that you can, fill in for a guy like a Sheldon Rankin. No disrespect to him. I like him a lot, and I feel bad that he's gone. But he has been hurt over the last couple of years, and you've seen guys like Shy Tuttle step up. And you've seen guys, like Malcolm Roach play pretty well last season. You see people like David Onyemata who has gotten better. So you have guys in your rotation that can go out there and play really well. My main concern is the linebacker position and also with the cornerbacks. And it doesn't surprise me at all that the New Orleans Saints have not been aggressive in free agency. I wouldn't expect for them to be as aggressive. The New Orleans Saints, for the last couple of years, it seems to me like they're really focusing on trying to get players through the draft. And, you know, I'm always a guy that's a firm believer in you have to build your team through the draft and not just getting a whole bunch of free agents just because you have, a whole bunch of money. You can have a bunch of guys on your team that's a bunch of free agents that it might not mesh. You have guys that can come in through your organization that can actually do some, do some great things, and you can develop those guys via the draft. So that's the way I feel about it. You know, I'm really excited about the direction of what this team is going to go. And, I just feel like, all they got to do to me is just focus on, the draft. And I think if you do that, then you'll be just fine. Thank you all so much for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast. I want everybody right now, if you have not already, go ahead and hit that like button. Please support the State of the Saints podcast. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscription button right now. We're really, really close. I think we're maybe like 30 subscribers away from 6,000 subscribers. So if you haven't hit that subscription button, please do right now. And also hit that like button, man. Let's show your support to the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all for all those that donate to the State of the Saints podcast as well. But, if you don't want to donate, that's fine. Just hit the subscription button. I would really appreciate that. But let's go ahead and start and read some of these comments. Once again, I apologize at the top of the show. I had my mic wasn't on. What happened was I disconnected my mic the last show that I did, and I didn't adjust it back. So I just put it right back in, and I didn't adjust the settings. So I apologize to everybody. When I started the show, I was muted. So. Donald says, yeah, man, the weekend was outstanding, TJ. Well, that's great, man. It's good to hear. Pac-Man putting in work. Yeah, man, Pac-Man was out there getting down, man. Yeah, man, I mean, he had a really good weekend. He had a really good weekend, man. He was all excited and everything like that, happy about, just being out and having fun, man. We took him out there to a kids fest, and then we took him to like a little bounce house and stuff like that, and he really had a good time, man. So, he really enjoyed his weekend, man. He was living his best life. Like,
yay!
Yeah, man. So those are great moments right there, man. Man, that's like the best thing, being a husband and father, man. You have to, you're able to have moments like that. So. T-Mo, what's going on, man? It says, TJ, what up, homie? What's going on, man? A 2022 6th-round pick. I'm not losing sleep about that, I mean, the Saints last year 6th-round pick played for the Carolina Panthers, Tommy Stevens. So I think we'll be all right. What's up? What's going on, Mike, man? Thank you for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast. Chump chains collect $1 from fans. Basically, they always effing with us. Yeah, it seems that way. It seems like when they always trying to make an example, it's like they're always trying to pick on the Saints. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like they're trying to I think you have a lot of people in the National Football League that are excited about these type of moments where, the New Orleans Saints, who are a small market team, it seems like they're going to, take a step back. And I think you have a lot of people in the National Football League that are excited about that. I just feel like people don't look at the Saints as a team that they want to be in the room. I just don't, and you look at the New Orleans Saints over the last couple of years, the teams that the NFL hold near and dear to their hearts, like the Saints have beaten them, right? Over the years, like the Saints have beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers, they've beaten the Dallas Cowboys. Like for the most part, they've beaten the Green Bay Packers. They didn't beat them last year, but a lot of the teams that they talk about ad nauseum every single year, the Saints win. You know what I'm saying? They beat them, and they beat them pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like the Saints are like that. it's like if you go to a country club and, you got a whole bunch of rich people, you got your aristocrats out there who probably, was born into money. And then you got that guy who probably just worked for the sweat of his brow, and he just so happened to move into your neighborhood and he gets all the country club benefits, but nobody wants to talk to him. That's kind of like what the New Orleans Saints are. They're not an aristocrat. You know what I'm saying? They're not a Brookshire. They're not a Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? They're a guy who just basically just started his own manure business. You know what I'm saying? But it's a really successful manure business, and he makes a lot of money doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what the Saints are. Seems like, they just don't want to be accepted as being one of the most elite teams in the league. And it just seems like people stop at nothing to discredit these guys, including, the coaching staff, discrediting Drew Brees, making it seem like his accomplishments anybody could do. But, you'll sit up here and praise a guy, in another uniform who probably didn't do as close to what Drew Brees has done. I just think that they just don't like the New Orleans Saints. They don't look at them as a valuable team. And, anytime they're brought up, people can't help and hurry up and jump on what they've done in the past. It's just amazing to me. Like, it's as if, you can't change the narrative of this team. It's not like, like when you talk about the Indianapolis Colts, it's not like the Indianapolis Colts were a great football team all these years, but it seems like, all of a sudden when Peyton Manning comes, it's like anything else before that never happened. And don't give me that stuff about, they were, what about Johnny Unitas? Johnny Unitas played for the Baltimore Colts. And that, that history don't, really, add up. Like that's what they did in Baltimore. But when they went to Indianapolis, they weren't really good. So, but it seems like to me when they start talking about the Saints, they always got to talk about the bags on their head. They always got to talk about the snake-bitten franchise. They always got to talk about how bad the football team was. And then they start talking about, Drew Brees. But in reality, to me, that just shows you how great Drew Brees was, and that shows you how great this organization has been over the last 15 years. To me, I just feel like if you have a guy like Sean Payton who comes into a snake-bitten franchise, Drew Brees who comes into a snake-bitten franchise, these guys who come in later on to a snake-bitten franchise, and these guys change the narrative of how you think about football, to me, that means more to me than, a guy throwing for a whole bunch of yards. I can make an argument to say what Drew Brees, Sean Payton, this Saints staff has done over the last 15 years it means more than maybe some of your same status quo teams winning the Super Bowl. It's almost like, a badly run business. And then all of a sudden, you get this guy who's a visionary. He comes in, he just changed the way that you look at the business. Business is booming, people making money. The stock market, for the company is going up. It means a lot more to me than a nostalgia team winning all the time that you talk about. Because, the Saints made people talk about them. They forced them. They forced people to put them in the conversation. And that's why I got a lot of respect for this organization. I laughed when they took the draft pick away. It could have been the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they did that, but that's the NFL. That's one happy kid there. Yeah, he always, man. Paxton always happy, man. He's like a real happy kid. Like that's one of the main reasons why he's sick. If he's not running around all over the place or laughing or singing, something's wrong. Good morning, TJ. Hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, I had a really good weekend. All things considered. My uncle, he was buried this weekend. They had his funeral. But all in all, you have to appreciate life, while you're here. It was unfortunate, that he passed away. But you think about, I think about my son and how much life he has, and it just puts things in perspective to me. What's up, bro? Keep doing your thing. What's going on, Will, man? Chill Will in the building. That's my guy, man. Shouts out to my fellow Jacksonian, Jackson State University right there in the building. Appreciate it, man. Jude says the COVID-19 was spreading like wildfire in AFC North. The NFL picked on the Saints. Like I said, that's kind of what they do, man. I just feel like the Saints are just that team that they like to make examples with. we can gain a compensatory pick for Rankins and Hendrickson if they both ball out. Definitely not tripping about that. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Tyra. So, and like I said, it's a 6th-round pick. A 6th-round pick last year, not even on the team. Tommy Stevens. Oh, my God, y'all. Sheldon Rankins was signed by the Jets. What are we going to do? Well, it's the next man up, and I sense a lot of sarcasm in there. But look, man, I'm not going to poo-poo on Sheldon Rankins, man. Sheldon Rankins was good when he was in the Saints uniform, when he was healthy. And, he will be missed, man. We're going to miss the Sheldon shimmy, you know what I'm saying? We're going to miss that. And I wish him the best. I don't want to see a guy end up getting injured and he can't, get his career back together. I hope he has success. And I think with Robert Saleh as the coach, he's a defensive-minded coach. I think that Sheldon Rankins, if he stays healthy, can be a force in the National Football League, man. He was already climbing the ranks in 2018 before he went out in that divisional round against the Eagles. So who knows what he can do under Robert Saleh as a head coach and a guy that's probably going to be calling the defense as well. They hate us because they ain't us, pretty much. Draft his replacement. Well, I don't know if we're going to draft Sheldon Rankin's replacement. I think he's already on the team. I like Shai Tuttle and Malcolm Roach. I like that dynamic. So, and, these guys can play. What position you think we draft in the 1st round? Cornerback? Yeah, I think they should. I think they should draft a cornerback. If they're smart, they would. This is a passing league, folks. If you need a cornerback, you draft one because teams are going to throw the ball. We got 8 picks in 2021 NFL draft. I already know they'll move up in the draft, TJ. Well, that's the thing. Sean Payton already said it. Sean Payton said he's a firm believer in picking the guy he wants, that he feels like fits his organization, fits the Saints organization. And it's not so much about just picking the best guy available. Like that's what teams tell you, but he used the example of, Patrick Mahomes and Marshawn Lattimore. He said that the number one, pick that they wanted was Patrick Mahomes. And when Patrick Mahomes left, then you had Marshawn Lattimore. So, you couldn't get Mahomes, so you get Lattimore. And those are the guys that they wanted. But he's like, if, Patrick Mahomes wasn't available and, they didn't want Marshawn Lattimore or they didn't feel like he fit, then don't draft him. So if the Saints feel like it's somebody that they can get, they feel like it's a person they can attain and you don't have to, pretty much exhaust anything, then by all means, I say do it. I say do it. Tragic 504 says, TJ, the Saints only need to get this year under the cap because next year cap will be a minimum $300 million. Yeah, oh man, that's pretty good, man. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they can still like be a formidable team. That's all I care about, and I feel like they are going to be a formidable team. I think they can win a lot of games with what they have right now. I mean, you need a couple pieces, of course, but I think they can still win some games. Are we getting Richard Sherman, TJ? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're getting Richard Sherman or not. I know Sean Payton likes him a lot. I still think that Richard Sherman has something left in the tank, but I still believe that you need to draft a cornerback also. That's somebody that probably can learn under Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman can come in and also, help out that young cornerback, help him reach his full potential. The one that puts in the work never gets credit. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, man. That's just how we live, man. The person that's working hard, pulling himself up by his bootstraps, that person don't really get the recognition. It's all about, it's all about the nostalgia act in the National Football League. We love nostalgia for some apparent reason. Like we like digging in the crates. And that's one main reasons why, the Nielsen ratings, when they come out, you have these presidents of these networks. They try to push the narrative about some of these teams like the Steelers and the Packers and the Cowboys and NFC East, what's going on there. And, like they try to push that narrative because, people like nostalgia, people like it. People love that. You know what I'm saying? Like People love, those teams that used to be winners and have this historical significance to it. And, I feel bad about that because in the process, when teams are like creating history and building history and building respectability and credibility for their organizations, they still get swept under the rug, man, because they're too busy like focusing on some of those other teams. It's like the Cleveland Browns, right? The Cleveland Browns had a better season than the Dallas Cowboys in all aspects, you know what I'm saying? And if you're really being real, you would think that the Cleveland Browns should get more of the press clippings than the Cowboys, but that's not the case. The Cowboys get more segments than the Cleveland Browns did. The narrative should have been Cleveland, is resurrecting their organization under Kevin Stefanski, and Baker Mayfield is dealing and also, he cut down on his turnovers. That should have been the narrative, but it wasn't. It's always about the Cowboys and Mike McCartney and Dak and like it just don't give me. I just feel like, man, just don't give me that stuff about that's what people want to see. People, for the most part, want to see what you present to them. Like, I always use this example, okay? Back in, say, about 2007, it was like my senior year, right? And, I remember the song by Lil Wayne called Lollipop first came out. And I was like, man, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt. Like, man, what is going on here? Like, I really wasn't feeling a song like that at first. You know what I'm saying? Like, but eventually you start hearing it over and over and over again. You start finding ways and reasons why, the song is pretty good. Oh, the beat pretty hot. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like the auto-tune's on point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they kind of shove it down your throat because you hear it everywhere. You see the videos, hear it on the radio, all these different things. So all of a sudden it's like you have to fall in line. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like people going to be like, man, you crazy, for not liking this. That's kind of like how I feel about the NFL. That's how I feel about some of these sports shows. It's like they force feed these situations down our throats. And then they'll say stuff like, well, people want to hear this. Well, they want to hear it because you keep forcing it down their throat. If you give them another alternative, maybe they'll be interested in hearing about it. That's just what it is, man. Like, why, bracket teams that are emerging and becoming better at the expense of a team that's probably struggling, but, they used to be coached by Vince Lombardi or used to have Tom Landry. Like, that's ridiculous to me. If they're worth talking about, if they're a playoff contender, by all means. By all means. So, but, that's just how I feel. The Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers had the Rona so bad. It was a joke for the Saints to get fined and lose a draft pick. I'm fair. We'll be okay at corner. We have all world hands. Dap and PJ back in the building. Yeah, man, PJ Williams, once again, comes back to the New Orleans Saints. I really just don't. I don't know, man. PJ Williams walking around with a lucky rabbit foot, a 4-leaf clover, or some very incriminating pictures of somebody in the Saints organization. But look, I will give PJ his credit. PJ had his best season last year. That came from somebody close to the Saints organization that told me that. They said that the coaching staff is really excited and really happy about what they seen out of PJ Williams. That is what was told to me. They said, that they really like him and he's a smart football player and he's tough, So, and I think that PJ played his best season. I think it helped that he was mostly playing safety. He was playing in a nickel and dime. Like, I feel like that's where he belongs, man. He don't belong on the outside. And I think as long as he's not playing on the outside, I think he should be okay. So I'm not going to ish on PJ Williams like most people are doing this season. Like, people just like it. To me, it's becoming a running gag right now. Like, oh man, they got PJ back. Like, but PJ had his best season. Like, I didn't really see too many plays where I just seen PJ Williams just out there getting smoked and roasted and toasted like normally. You know what I'm saying? One, he's not in that starting rotation. When he was a starter in the game against the Detroit Lions, what people weren't giving him credit for, he played pretty doggone good when him and Patrick Robinson was in there because Marshawn and Janoris were hurt. So I'm not gonna poo-poo on this guy. Okay, I just feel like it's becoming a running gag. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he had his best season, and then on top of that, I mean, he's not a starter. So it's not like he gonna come in and just do it. It's just gonna be so much damage being caused because of PJ. When he does come in the game in spots, last season he played pretty well. So I'm not gonna like just destroy him. I just feel like that's just a gag right now. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, like, I think sometimes like we don't look at things objectively once we already have our mindset on what a player is and what he does. Like it's hard for us as Saints fans for people, to change their minds about it. And, I look at it from year to year, right? And I feel like you need to do the same thing. Look at it from year to year. Like, how's the guy playing this year? Like, how did he perform this year? It's like the same thing with Trey Kwan. Like, we were talking about Trey Kwan last year, talking about the Saints need to get rid of him. Like, man, it's put up or shut up. And I haven't heard anybody talk about Trey Kwan this year. I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about Trey Kwan Smith. The man played pretty good when he was in the game. So I'm not going to, like, if this was last year and PJ was still on the team, y'all go back and run the tape. I was very upset that he got signed. But this time, 1 year deal, I'm not going to trash the man. I'm not going to trash him this year. I'm not. Believe it or not, PJ is a Seminole. He's not that good, though. I mean, look, he's not all world or anything like that. But like I said, he's not a starter. TJ Stop Line, you gave nickname PJ Smoke Turkey Williams. What am I lying about? I just already told you. I already just told you that I'm doing it from year to year. I never said that I just even said, if this was last year, I mean, go back and look at the footage. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Look, interpret the way you want, man. I don't give a damn. Mario says, is PJ in Smoke Turkey territory? Yeah, I mean, he is. Like, look, we all know PJ. Like, if you've been watching the Saints, for all these years, you know what PJ's strengths are, you know his weaknesses. So here's the thing. If PJ is on the outside, then he's going to get smoked, right? If he's playing in a nickel, he's going to be playing much better. He's probably one of the best tacklers, in the secondary. And I just feel like if you put him in a nickel or dime, he's okay. You know what I mean? So if you put him at safety, he plays more than okay. He plays better than okay because he's not that fast. So we all know that he's going to get smoked like brisket, burnt like a biscuit when he get on the outside. And like I said, he is not going to be a starter. Like, I don't understand it. Like, he is not going to be a starter. And he's basically a situational cornerback. That's just what it is. So it's to me, it's like, if the Saints were, I'm trying to think about somebody that, I don't know, man. Let's just say if the Saints like re-sign, I'm trying to look at a player. I can't think of anybody at this time, but if he just plays on special teams, right? Like Ramon Humble or something like that. If the Saints re-sign Ramon Humble, like Ramon Humble played for the Saints, around 2015 or whatever like that. And people like, man, Ramon Humble sucks. Like, well, Ramon Humble only basically was playing on special teams. And he only come in the game like if somebody hurt. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to get hurt in order for him to even play. So no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a chance that he probably would never get in the game. If Chauncey Gardner-Johnson come in, if the Saints end up, getting another cornerback, like you'll never see PJ Williams. You only see him in like certain situations. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to lose sleep over a guy that's not even a starter, that you basically just got on the team for depth. LOL, TJ, we understand you're being optimistic, but let's not be biased and be real about PJ in the secondary. Even Big Q always say serious help is needed in that secondary, and he can't stand PJ. Look, all I'm saying is this. When you look at the Saints' financial situation, like we looking at it from we looking at it from a player standpoint. Okay, like, look, I'm not here to debate to say that PJ Williams is the best corner or something like that. Y'all know how I feel about it. But I also just feel like if you're looking at the financial situation of the New Orleans Saints, all right, this isn't Madden. We're not playing with the salary cap off. So if you was to go out here and get yourself another cornerback who will ask for a certain amount of money, you don't know what they're going to bring to the table. You can get a guy that's been in your system his whole entire career for about $1 million that only going to play in spot duty. And then you can go out there and maybe draft somebody that you ain't got to pay a whole bunch of money to, because you got to understand they trying to stay underneath the cap. And you can go out there and probably get a veteran that can play on a veteran minimum. You know what I'm saying? That would just give you like serviceable, formidable, like play, you know, like a Richard Sherman would. And then, like I said, you can stay underneath the cap. So you have a guy on your team that's familiar with it, you know, familiar with how the Saints run things. You have yourself a young guy that you can develop in your system, and you got yourself a seasoned veteran he can learn under. Sounds pretty doggone good to me versus getting 3 brand new cornerbacks that you have to develop a chemistry with the other guys that's in your secondary. Like I said, look, the guy's not starting, and we acting like this guy's about to go out there and be on like he gonna be like Darrelle Reeves or something like that. Like, dude ain't even starting. I'm kind of surprised Patrick Robinson is still on the team. He's older and became injury prone. Yeah, basically. The secondary is much worse now than last year. I can't really speak on that because I only can speak on what happened. Willie Jackson says, I like PJ. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of PJ. All I'm saying is he had his best season statistically. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like his play, that's what was told to me. I was told this, okay? I apologize to everybody up here with their opinions, but when I'm hearing about somebody that's close to the organization, I'm taking the word of the organization. Even me, myself, you know what I'm saying? All I am is a spectator, all right? I give my opinion here on the show just like everybody else, all right? I know we think we do, but we don't know more than what this organization knows. It's just as simple as that. You know, sorry, it's just a fact. Like, if we go out here and we're arguing, we're going back and forth, and we speculate, and then all of a sudden somebody comes out and tells you the real deal, what more can you say? What more can you say after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know more than a person. You don't. So that what was told to me. I'm going to just take their word for it. I also know that as of right now, he's not going to be a starter unless he comes in there and just basically just wreck shop. So everybody's running their blood pressure up and going crazy and stuff like that over PJ Williams being re-signed. Y'all acting like this man about to be in the starter rotation. And as of right now, he will not. And it will have to take something that really happened to some of the guys that the Saints signed or draft in order for PJ to see the field. We will get bounced back on the field in the next season for real, bro. They're constantly going penalties calls for many times from referees for a couple of seasons. It's time to stop holding and all that type of stuff. Yeah, look, I think with Chris Richard in there, who specializes in the secondary, I think that they're going to be a little bit better. You know, that's just the way I feel. You know, I think that he will help them with the technique. I think that his coaching style is a little bit different. I think that he's going to hold guys more accountable, and he coaches with a more of a fire than Aaron Glenn did. No disrespect to Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is more of a teacher. You know, I don't think he really too much held the guys accountable. It was more like, you know, he gave these guys this false sense of reality in some cases to me. Like, you know, these guys weren't really that good, but, you know, he'll gas them up like, you know, like they just the hottest thing since sliced toast bread. And that's cool, man. You got to have these guys playing with a lot of confidence, but you also got to put these guys in position to succeed, and you also got to be 100% honest with them too, so they can work on the things to get them better. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So the way that I feel about it, I think that, you know, I just think that, you know, Chris Richard going to be good for these guys. You know, that's the way I feel about it. I'm trying to see, man. I seen somebody put in the chat. I don't know how real this is. Bobby said, seriously, Saints signed Sherman to a 1-year deal. So excuse me, I'm trying to see did they actually sign him? I mean, if they did, they must have just recently did it. And I don't know if you're asking that they should sign. And I'm looking at my phone. I apologize, folks. But I'm just trying to see if he actually is saying that or if he actually saying that or he's suggesting that. All right. Let's see. The Saints are among the teams expressing interest in 5. This comes from Tom Pelissero. Says the Saints are among the teams expressing interest in 5-time Pro Bowler cornerback Richard Sherman. Okay, so Saints among the team expressing it. So I'm seeing a bunch of like expressions. Okay, now this is according to Ian Rappaport. Let me make sure this is the right Ian Rappaport. No, I don't see the certificate. There's another Ian Rappaport on there. So. Did the Saints sign him? Did the Saints sign Richard Sherman? Okay. I haven't seen anything. I just see rumors right now. I only see rumors. All right. So I'm only seeing rumors right now. And the only person I've seen on there that's actually said that this is accurate was the false Ian Rappaport. So it was breaking news about the Saints losing a draft pick on my cell phone. Jeremiah says, facts. I'm confident in Peyton and makes the right call. I apologize for looking at my phone. I was just trying to figure out so I can see if I can, see if it was actual and factual. We will have some growing pains, but I think we got some good players out, and we don't expect to. Look, check this out. I think that the Saints are going to be much better than a lot of people think. I really do. I really do. I don't think they're going to be left for dead like some people think. So, TJ, we all know the Bucs cheated the Saints game. Tom Brady was paying the refs. Look, usually I can be all up on the refs, but I got to say, man, I think the Saints got some of the most favorable calls in that game. I'm just being real. Like, there was a play where clearly it wasn't pass interference. I mean, like, if I'm a Bucs fan, you know what I'm saying, I would be way more upset at the referees than Saints fans should have been. I think the game was pretty called down the middle. And I think they let them play, you know what I'm saying, for the exception of maybe, that interception that was, that Michael Thomas, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know if he stopped on a route or Murphy Bunn jumped in. I mean, you can probably make an argument for that, but They were trying to keep the Saints in the game, you know. So I'll give them that. That was one game that I just feel like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like they helping them out, man. You know what I'm saying? They helped them out a little bit, but in most cases, yeah, I have to agree with you. You know, the referees don't show no mercy for the Saints. So Chris Richard reunites Legion of Boom with Sherman. Well, like I said, I'm just waiting for the report to come out. Somebody, if it comes out from a valuable source, then, you know what I'm saying, I'll report it here, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything that come across my phone right now that's telling me that, you know, that he signed with the Saints. So as of right now, I can't report that. Let me see. I already read that for. Do you think we're going to go after a corner or a linebacker in the first round? I think we're going after a cornerback. I think you should, man. This is a passing league, folks. Like, to me, a cornerback is just as important as a left tackle and a quarterback. Like, because everybody throw the football. And if you don't have yourself a decent, solid corner, like, you're gonna get smoked, man. You're gonna get roasted and toasted, man. And you know, I mean, it's just what it is, man. To me, that's the most important thing. Just like Levante said, we know we got a bullseye on our back, and he guaranteed we're going back with JPP, and we got an easier pathway, AFC East and NFC East this year. Let's go. And then not to mention y'all not playing a first-place schedule. The Saints are, because y'all, even though y'all won a Super Bowl, y'all didn't win a division. So still, y'all like, I think y'all get like a second-place schedule. So I guess every team that came in second or whatever like that in their division that y'all play, you know. So Sherman, I thought y'all was picking up Russell Wilson. I think that ship is sailed. Dude's still mad at the fact that y'all lost fair and square. I don't know exactly who mad. Now the Saints lost the Bucs game. Look, I'm just saying, man, like, y'all know me. I come on here and I talk about the referees in a minute, but I'm not gonna blame the referees. The Saints just flat out lost that game. They beat themselves in a lot of ways. They had opportunities to really, go out there and make some of those plays, and they did not. There was a couple of plays that could have changed the trajectory of the game. Jared Cook fumbling the football. Marshawn Lattimore jumping in front of Scotty Miller. That could have been a pick six. Alvin Kamara running the wrong route, running straight up the field, causing an interception by Devin White. There's so many different things. Drew Brees not playing his best. There's so many things. Devontae Harris going out was huge. So I'm not sitting up here blaming the referees. Like, we can't blame the referees for every single loss of the Saints. You know what I'm saying? There are cases they play a huge role, but there are some cases where you have to just look and say, man, the Saints just lost that football game. We can confidently say, okay, man, they lost to the Eagles, right? So we got to confidently say that. Look, referees didn't play a role in that game. Not to a point where the Saints were lost. You can say a play here, a play there, but all in all, the Saints lost that football game. They lost that game. Shot themselves in the foot too many times, and they couldn't really just get over the hump. So that's not one of them games I would blame the referees in. I feel confident in the draft too, TJ. I strongly feel we're still a playoff team. Yeah, and also it just helps you have an extra playoff spot. You got a 7 seed now, so that's a plus. They put 46 in a Minnesota Miracle meme. He was trying to walk up the steps on Air Force One. Oh, you're talking about Joe Biden. Yeah, he fell down. Look, dude, you 78 years old. I don't know why you're trying to prove and trying to convince everybody that you're young. Dude, you old. Hey, people understand. Like, if you walking gradually up the stairs, like, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares if you can run upstairs. It's pretty cool. You're still in good shape like that at 78, but dude, you ain't got to just show the whole world. That was a political move right there. Some politicians are just way too political. Like, everything they do is political. And you're like, dude, just walk up the stairs, man. Walk up the stairs, walk to the end, then turn around, then hit them with a salute and hop aboard Air Force One. That's all you got to do. Nobody would care. Yeah, Saints fans want to blame everyone, but number 9, when we lose, the Bucs beat us. When you got an old quarterback that can't push the ball downfield, the results happen the way it did. 4 turnovers, pretty much. Can't argue with 4 turnovers. Referees can't force 4 turnovers. This was a bad football game. I would have. Russell Wilson says I would have signed with the Saints, but they wouldn't guarantee me the opportunity to send unlimited fart messages in my contract, so I had to pass. Well, Russell, thank you very much. Hopefully you can figure things out, and hopefully, we won't hear any negative press, come your way because you don't think the same way the organization does. Hint, hint. It's time to move forward with our team to win the 2021 season, playoffs, NFL championship, and Super Bowl, because outsiders, NFC trying to talk all the noise from Falcons, Succaneers, and Black Kitty are bad taste in their mouths. Well, look, the Saints, I don't care. Look, at this point, I don't care about the division no more. If they ain't winning a Super Bowl, getting close to the Super Bowl, I can care less. It's good to have, a T-shirt and all that kind of stuff, but I would give them all those T-shirts up for one shot at the Super Bowl. TJ, what do you think about WWE Fastlane? Have you watched A&W? If you have, or AEW, I assume you're saying. If you haven't, have you heard Charlotte Flair has signed a contract with AEW? No, I didn't hear Charlotte Flair signing with AEW. First off, I think Charlotte Flair, I think she's still under contract with WWE. And even if she wasn't, I'm pretty sure she has a 90-day non-compete clause, so she couldn't just sign with another organization right off the bat. Also, I did see Fastlane. I felt like it was an unnecessary pay-per-view because nothing really happened. Nothing really happened. No belt changed hands, and I just feel like they could have did without it. I didn't see the point. It didn't really elevate anybody. It didn't really change people's mind about watching WrestleMania, and some of the matches that you could have took this week to to build up even more to get ready for WrestleMania is out of the window. It's just pointless. Saints not scoring touchdowns on those first two amazing returns by Deontay was a killer. That would have sealed the game and taken the air out of Tampa's sails. Yeah, pretty much. It would have, but when I seen that, I was like, man, it's the NFC Championship game all over again against the Rams. TJ, I really believe we ain't going to win another ring until we get another Darren Sharper on the back end. We need another no-throw zone, just my opinion. Well, to me, I feel like Marcus Williams can be that guy. I do. I think Marcus Williams has took strides to, be a really good safety. He's become a better tackler. He has really good ball skills. I think that he's really smart. I think the more that he plays, the more intelligent he's going to become. I see like him on an uptick every single year. He polishes his game even more and becomes much better. So I think he can be that guy. I mean, anytime the ball comes Marcus Williams' way, he catches it. Okay, I mean, I'm just being serious. This guy almost has hands like a wide receiver to me. Anytime the ball comes, there's only one time I ever seen a ball hit Marcus Williams' hand and he picked it off, and that was like against Patrick Mahomes. And I feel like he didn't catch that interception because he twisted his foot. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the pain, shot up and it distracted him from catching the football. Marcus Williams can be that guy. He probably had better hands than Darren Sharper does. I just feel like Darren Sharper probably, Darren Sharper was like his 9th, 10th season or something like that when he joined the Saints. So, man, this guy was a seasoned veteran. He knew the game, and probably not much he has not seen. Hey, TJ, who won between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns won. The Fiend Bray Wyatt is the only thing that was good. I disagree with that. I think the Big E Apollo Crews match was pretty good. I thought those two guys did a good job, trying to build up a match. I just feel like they probably could have took, like I said, I just feel like that was one match that they didn't need. That probably to me was one of the best things on the show. Watching those two guys go at it. I'm like invested in that feud right there. Andrade was released from his contract, not Charlotte. Fastlane was unnecessary, but made Randy Orton's wife mad. Wink, wink. Yeah. Yeah, man, about Alexa Bliss on top of him at the end. Yeah, man, Andrade, yeah, he got released. I think what Ramsey is talking about is, Andrade. He's, for those that don't know, he's a Mexican, wrestler. He's engaged to Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte Flair was upset about the way that WWE did him. So I guess she's doing like a little silent protest, which I understand. You got to stand by your man. And I mean, Charlotte Flair, I mean, come on, man. She's done everything. So, and WWE needs Charlotte Flair way more than Charlotte Flair needs WWE at this point. Someone paid Marcus on the Minnesota Miracle. He made catches but missed tackles. Yeah, I mean, but that was his rookie season, man. He's gotten better since then. LOL, you got to keep talking about Bucks because it's about how to assemble a team to beat Bucks when it matters at this point. Look, I just feel like with that, Steve, that's like change. That's just like moving a goalpost, man. I just feel like that's kind of moving a goalpost. First, it was beating the Bucks. Now it's beating the Bucks when it counts. I mean, look, y'all won a Super Bowl, but let's not pretend like the Saints didn't beat you twice. Like y'all, it's not like y'all indestructible or whatever like that, unbeatable. We're saying beating the Bucks when it counts. Like, I don't know, man. That's moving a goalpost. First, all season long was about beating the Bucks. Then when the Bucks get to the playoffs, now it's all of a sudden like beating them when it counts. Nah, man, nah. Y'all didn't see that coming. I don't care. Like what anybody says, like y'all didn't see that coming. Y'all probably thought y'all were going to be a playoff team, but a Super Bowl champion? No. So I refuse to accept that. I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy y'all are happy and y'all deserve it. Y'all ran the table. Y'all played 3 away games in order to get that home game in the Super Bowl, and y'all won. But that's changing the goalpost to me. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus was a good match. Yeah, it was. You know, but I mean, that was like the third time they fought. Pray for TJ, man. All positive vibes to him and that Drew Brees jersey in his closet. Man, look, I like Drew Brees, but I just feel like it's just time to move on. You know, I just think it's time to move on. I'm okay with the change. I'm willing to take the bad with the good. You know, so hopefully the Saints can get over that hump, man. Hopefully they can get over the hump and become a much better football team in the process, and guys can step up. You know, guys can step up and be really good, solid football players. You know, I mean, now you don't have Drew Brees to hang on anymore. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let everybody know that right now that you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please hit that subscription button if you have not already. And also hit the like button, okay? If you're enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the State of the Saints podcast, just take a few seconds if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook to hit the like button, okay? And also, the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, okay? We all know that March Madness is here right now. And, I mean, you had a lot of upsets, man. As of right now, I heard that there's nobody bracket is perfect right now. You know, all brackets are just basically you just ball them up, throw them in the trash because of all of the upsets. But the tournament season is here, okay? So take care of your hair and hose with the best tools for the job. We're talking about the official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast, Manscaped, the global leader in male grooming from head to toe. When the clock winds down on March, be clutch and avoid the upset with Manscaped. Performance packages to keep all your hair and hose tamed. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, so join the Manscaped movement and start taking care of your grooming today. And you can also use the promo code State of Saints. That's all one word, State of Saints, and you will save 20% off. Once again, State of Saints. All right, you'll save 20% off of your Manscaped purchase, and international shipping is available for absolutely free. So manscaped.com, the official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. Now let's get back to business, man. You see, I'm subscribing right now. I appreciate that, Jarvis. King says, Ernest, no, they don't. I don't know exactly what that means. I think the reason so many Bucs fans talk smack is because they have never been in the spotlight in a long time. They've been waiting. Yeah, look, I mean, they deserve to talk. They're the Super Bowl champions. I give them the credit for that. You know, I really do. You know, I think that they deserve the credit, and they deserve to brag and boast because, look, we all know if the Saints would have won a Super Bowl, we would have been just as unbearable as they are. So I think they earned the right to talk trash. You know, it's just frustrating to us because we're in the same division as them, and we did beat them 2 times. And in the back of our mind, we feel like we are better than they are. You know, but they just so happen to get what we tried to get, you know, at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, man, I'm not gonna knock them for that. Okay, I'm not gonna knock them for talking noise because they earned the right to talk noise. You can't even hit me back, Josh. What do you mean hit you back? I didn't even know if I got anything from you. Bucks aren't used to success, so that's why their fans talk a lot. Gotta act like you've been there before. Well, I mean, they haven't been there in a long time. Last year's news yarning. And TJ Kellen Winslow Jr., I heard, is in jail. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, we've been in jail for a while, huh? I think he ended up like molesting like an old lady or something like that. Like, they just sad stuff, man. Ramsey said TJ did deserve the credit as much as I'm not happy for it, but Tampa deserves as they haven't been in a long time. But game of the week is Terminator Resistance and WWE Resistance for my birthday. Okay, well, Ramsey, we really do appreciate that. Thank you for shouting out the game of the week, man. Thank you so much. Y'all check those games out, man. Ramsey always come through every single week with a game that he would recommend for all the gamers out there. Scroll down a little bit. Ernest says, go dry off and sign AB. Well, you never know what you're going to get with that. You don't know what you're going to get with AB. You really don't know. So I think that's what a lot of people are skeptical about. And then when he came there, he all up in the locker room on his phone and everything like that. So I think that kind of, I just think they left a bad taste in the Saints organization mouth. Hey, TJ, you still got the interview coming with the ex-Steeler player? Yeah, man. Matter of fact, that interview is tomorrow. It should be tomorrow at 6 p.m., man. He hit me up this morning. So it'll be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Interview. I have an interview with Darren McFadden. Brian McFadden. You know what I'm saying? Brian McFadden, B-Mac. I'm looking at the comments and also trying to talk at the same time. Brian McFadden. Kenny Steele, Sneeze, Sammy Watkins are out there. Any interest, TJ? We need a legit number 2. I would pick Sammy Watkins out of the 3 guys that you named. Kenny Stills would be next, followed by Willie Snead. But back to football, TJ. Yeah, I mean, look, anybody put these questions up here, y'all know I just answer them. AB not going nowhere, he said on the gram yesterday, him and Fournette working things out with Tampa. Well, I mean, that's a good place for him. Good place for him. King Aladdin says, Jay Snag, crybaby. Don't know what that means, what that's all about. Roman Reigns, thank you very much for $2, said the Smarks will hate me again whenever I turn face. I disagree with that. I think that the heel turn of Roman Reigns making people appreciate him as a star. I just think that people just felt like, this is the direction you should have been in the first place. And we all know, man, that's just the way that it goes. People like to go against the grain. Anytime, a guy turns bad, he the coolest thing ever. But I think that people have an appreciation for him. We should be looking at T.Y. to replace Emmanuel. Well, if he's still on the street, then yeah, because the numbers are going down. And I just think that people just understand, like, you can get a quality wide receiver in the draft and you don't have to pay that much money. So it's not surprising he's still out there. That would be considered an upset if LSU whoops Michigan on live television. Yeah, it would. TJ, what do you think about Alabama State trolling Deion Sanders after the win? I think that Alabama State gonna get beat by 70 points next in the fall. That's what I feel about it. Look, people acting like Jackson State. They acting like Jackson State has all their players or whatever like that. Man, Jackson State got a lot of these 3- and 4-star athletes that are going to be contributing to this team. They can't play right now. And when those guys get out there, it's gonna be some serious damage being taking place. And I think there's a level of jealousy from other HBCUs for Jackson State. Number one, because Jackson State getting all the attention, and you have these HBCUs that have been winning and stuff like that, and they don't feel like they're getting their acknowledgement. But look, Deion Sanders is the greatest cornerback to ever play in the National Football League. I mean, he basically created like this whole football diva persona. He kind of created that. And people like his swag, man. People like the way that he presents himself. This guy's been on television all these different years. He's ingrained in pop culture. And when he comes to a team like Jackson State University, he's going to get the attention. Once again, he's a Hall of Fame cornerback, part of the all-decade team. You know what I'm saying? Not all-decade team, the 100-year anniversary team. He's the greatest cornerback to ever live. So, of course, he's going to be getting all the attention. And I just think that HBCUs, they upset at the attention that Jackson State is getting, and they want that attention too. But here's the reality. They will not be on television as much as they have been. They will not be getting any attention. Nobody will even care about HBCU football when it comes to the SWAC if Deion Sanders wasn't playing for them. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Nobody cares about Alcorn. Nobody cares about Alabama State. Nobody cares about Southern until November when it's on NBC or Grambling. Not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all rich, historic, you know what I'm saying, HBCUs. But the fact is, they would not be getting any attention at all. Like, nobody would care. Like, people would be out, you know what I'm saying, cooking barbecue and going out here, you know what I'm saying, like just running around their yard somewhere. Like, nobody would care about, nobody would be watching no Alabama State if they ain't play JSU. And it's just a fact. You know, if he would have went to Alcorn, it would have been the same way. If he would have been a Southern, it would have been the same way. And I would have gladly came on here and said nobody would have cared until he came there. But it just so happened Jackson State is the team that everybody focus on because everybody's trying to see if Deion Sanders can coach. You know, it really didn't matter. But they should be happy, man, because now you have these players out here that they get these opportunities on national TV. Like, I think they play Southern, if I'm not mistaken. I think they play Southern on ESPN, not ESPN2, not ESPN3, ESPN. When the last time you seen an actual HBCU game on the main network? On the main network, like not ESPN3, not ESPN Plus, not, you know what I'm saying, oh, I got to stream the game or who got the link. On the main ESPN network. So don't hate on Jackson State because, you know, they're in a good spot. Like, this helps all HBCUs. This helps all HBCUs, but instead, like, they just mad because they ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, you know, like, man, we got to get rid of this whole church mentality we got at HBCUs. You know, like, you don't want that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got that preacher that's been in there for a long time, and all of a sudden they got that young, vibrant preacher that come in and, you know what I'm saying, he's singing slang words that everybody can relate to, and, you know what I'm saying, he got the, you know what I'm saying, he got the crowd a little bit more enthusiastic, and all of a sudden, like, the main preacher want to sit him down because, like, he don't want to take the attention off himself. Like, that's basically what this is right now. But I'm sorry, man. You know, everybody likes that young preacher, and right now everybody likes Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is making HBCU football right now. Jackson State University football team is carrying HBCU football right now. You know, it's good for everybody, though. It's good for everybody. I went to Southern. My mom went to Grambling, but I'm rooting JSU because this will benefit the conference as a whole. Absolutely. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, man, we all know. We all, for all those that went to HBCUs, y'all already know. Like, football is secondary. Like, it's about the bands and, you know what I'm saying, like, the halftime show. You got people that will come for the halftime and leave in the third quarter because they didn't really care about football like that. Like, this, like, and we all know, like, on doing halftimes and stuff like that, they would show, like, the halftime show. Oh, it's the baddest band in the land. You know what I'm saying? The Human Jukebox. Oh, the Sonic Boom of the South. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these different bands. Like, it would be featured. I remember when Jackson State, I think they went to play UNLV or whatever like that. They didn't even feature the football team. They featured the band. Like, but now it's like people are actually watching football. They're actually watching SWAC football. Like, nobody, like, people like the band and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my boy Mike Walls and all, you know what I'm saying, my people that's in the band, my boy Chalupa and crew. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, you know what I'm saying? The band should be secondary, not the football team. You go into a football game. And now, you know what I'm saying, people are actually watching football. People are actually watching these football players and giving these guys the attention that they deserve. So let's, you know, man, let's get credit where credit due. You know what I'm saying? Let's get credit where credit due. Yep, Deion brings a lot of media, and that's good. People sleep on Cornelius Williams. I don't think people sleep on Cornelius Williams. You know what I'm saying? Cornelius Williams was really good. Okay, he was really good, but he went to Southern. You know what I'm saying? And this was during the time where HB, like I said, this was during the time HBCUs aren't getting attention. They aren't. You know what I'm saying? Like, There are so many different guys that can play football on the next level that went to HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? We see what Tariq Cohen is doing out there in Chicago, right? We seen what Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie has done over the years. Like, we seen what these guys can do, man. Like there's some potentially great players that can come out of HBCUs. The only thing is they're struggling with the power conferences. They're struggling with it, and nobody's really paying attention to them. And I think, like, with them being on television, it is going to help them and help these players get to the next level. They can only benefit HBCUs. They may need to move swag to the spring. People would love football year round. That's I've been saying that. I've been lobbying for that too. They must not know what Neon Deion is or who Neon Deion is. I would choose him over a quarterback any day. He shut half of the football field down. He's in the Hall of Fame already. Yeah, greatest cornerback that ever played the game. This guy, like I said, he just brings attention. He brings attention to the HBCUs, and like I said, they don't like that. Those other universities don't like that. They don't like the attention that Jackson State is getting. Great players come from HBCUs. We have one, Teron Armstead. I love the attention Jackson State getting. Is long overdue. Yeah, exactly. Teron Armstead, arguably one of the best left tackles in football. Went to Arkansas Pine Bluff. So, man, I won't lie. Back in my time at SU, folks would peace out once the juke. Yeah, man. I mean, they used to leave at halftime. Everybody heads to the Club Dreams in Baton Rouge. I mean, it's a fact, man. Like, nobody cared about football, man. Like, when I was in college, nobody cared about, like, you look, you know what I'm saying, in the stands. Everybody, everybody leaving in the third quarter. I'm like, God, dog, the game ain't over yet. What is they doing? You know what I'm saying? And then the game be close. Like, it's a nail biter. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game can go anyway. There's only one game I can really truly say that people would just stay all the way to the end, and that's when we played Southern and when we played Alcorn. Like, the other games they don't really care about, And Southern and Alcorn are only two games that had like a football feel to it. Now it's like every time you watch on TV, TJ, so you rather have a rookie wide receiver who would most likely struggle than Hilton? How about Malcolm Butler? It's not the fact that I would want a rookie that will most likely struggle. I just feel like the way that Sean Payton and his coaching staff structured, they'll get a wide receiver that can do some damage. I just feel like either way, I just think that at this particular moment, at this particular time, you have some guys on your team that can play. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not to a point where I just have to see you have to move heaven and earth. Like, you can go out here, you can get a guy like a Kenny Stills, and he can be formidable. You can get a guy like a Willie Snead can be formidable. And then you can also have somebody like Marquez Callaway who probably going to step up. Trey Kwan Smith that's going to step up. I don't feel like this is one of those situations where you just got to break bank to get somebody like T.Y. Now, if T.Y. was available at the right price, yeah. But I think that the Saints, they can get somebody much cheaper than that. I'm lobbying for a guy like Golden Tate. That's for some. I don't know if he got signed yet. I haven't seen anything. But I would love to see Golden Tate in the Saints uniform. That would be my perfect number 2 right there. Shout out to Club Dreams, bro. Homie just brought back memories. Steve Air McNair was the coolest quarterback I ever saw in person as a kid. Alcorn State's finest. Yeah, he was really good. Rest in peace to Air McNair. Rookie wide receiver, the price is right. Got to be sounding with this roster construction. Yeah, man, look. I just don't want them to be, exhausting themselves. I just don't want to see them exhausting themselves. I want them to make the right decisions. And, I understand that, I understand T.Y. Hilton is good. You know what I'm saying? I like the whole, T.Y., you know what I'm saying? I like that, but I mean, T.Y., you know what I'm saying, also, stay injured. You know what I'm saying? This man stay in the tub. You know what I'm saying? I don't never really see him in the club too many days. He's always seems to be hurt. And he's a small guy. You know what I'm saying? Those smaller guys I'm always skeptical about because, the health is always an issue. I'm going to read a few more, then we're going to get up out of here. Chosen says, TJ, you're my dog, but the boom don't want it with the jukebox. Look, I'm not really into bands like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, I'm going to just say it. I don't get it. Like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Like, not that I'm disrespecting bands. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get, like, standing on the side, you know what I'm saying, in the stands and, they about to play this. Oh, look at them horns. Like, nah, bro. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have my homeboys and stuff like that, man. They love band stuff. They like talking about the band. They like that fifth quarter stuff. I ain't really into all that, man. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I like when they say play Jazz, You Rock the House and Get Ready. You know what I'm saying? Those are like two well-known songs that the Boom play, but I'm not really into bands like that, man. I come for the football game. I don't care the band playing, talking out the side of your neck. I don't care, man. Like, seriously, I don't. Like, I'm one of those HBCU guys that actually go there for the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm in that red number. Like, I don't care about the band that much. You know, when the band on the field, they spelling out things. Oh, that's disrespectful. Got the commentary and stuff like that. Oh, they coming to the field. The best band in the land. Man, when the third quarter start. How you feel about Sanders going to the Bills? I think that's a good fit for him. I think he finally got a quarterback that's going to be able to give him the ball. I know that Josh Allen going to be able to give him the football. He ain't going to have no problem with no downfield passes after that. I would want my draft pick back. Who owns the Saints, bro? Tell Gail to call her lawyer. I don't think it's a hill to die on. And they appealed that. So, who knows what it was beforehand? Who knows? But I know I'm going to take a lot of criticism from all my HBCU people out there who love the band, but not my thing, man. Not my thing. Y'all want Cameron Brate back? Wouldn't be a bad pick. Wouldn't be a bad pick to get Cameron Brate. He's pretty good. And let me see. This will be the last one. No disrespect, but I feel you, TJ. All that into the band stuff kind of feminine to me. Who cares? I want to watch football. I don't want to call it feminine. I don't want to call it feminine. I just think I'm just not a fan. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get standing in the stands. Like, I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when my boys, you know what I'm saying, at homecoming and stuff like that, like, I'm in the stands and I'm there with them. I'm just not a fan of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listen. Yeah, if they play something, you know what I'm saying, I do a little jig or whatever, but just not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they didn't have a band, I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't. I would not care. Well, like, you think Ohio State fans come there to hit a band? Do you think, like, teams like LSU or, you know what I'm saying, like Alabama, you think people care about the band? Like, honestly, do you think they actually come, you know what I'm saying, to listen to the band? Like, no, they come there to see what the Tide gonna do. And I just feel like, man, I don't know, man. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I just feel like, man, we just it's just delusional at times. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, man, we need to have appreciation for the game. I understand bands, but that's what you got, battle the bands and all that kind of stuff on parades. Like, come there for the game. What time of game come on? TJ, I know you're about to leave and I'm about to run errands, man. If nobody told you today, you're a real one for sure. Steve, thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that has been part of the State of the Saints podcast. One more time, if you have not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscription button right now. Also, hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button. Tell everybody that you enjoyed the State of the Saints podcast. And let them know, man, they can subscribe to the State of the Saints podcast by going to youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, and previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Once again, for those that started out the episode, I apologize that my mic was muted. Thank you for all those that told me about it. Had me out there looking too crazy for had me talking 5 minutes with, be talking to myself. And you all enjoy the rest of your day, man. Have a good and productive day. Stay safe out there. Have fun. Live life to the fullest. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?